Today we're going to learn how to make your printables shareable. For the majority of us learning how to make printables, we might be making them for ourselves, for our family, but there's also some of us who are making them to sell or to give away as freebies, say on a blog post or something like that. And if you don't know exactly how to share those printables, it does get a little confusing. So we're going to go over some of the most basic ways of doing this. Obviously, there are multiple different ways of getting your printables into the hands of someone else, depending on what program you're using. But for the majority of us, I think we're going to be sticking to these two ways that I'm going to show you today. So to give you a little bit of context of what I'm talking about, this is my Etsy shop here, and these are my listings. Each one of these listings, if you were to click on that and to buy this, you would automatically get the downloads. You would automatically get the printables either sent to you email or through your purchase portal, and you could download them. So if you're not sure exactly how that happens, let me kind of walk you through that. And we'll start first of all with our printable. So if we've already made our printable, then the very first thing we're going to do is save it. So you're going to go to Save As, Browse, and then you're going to find the folder you want to save it into. And I highly recommend you have these organized, because the more you make, the more confusing it's going to get. So the earliest you can organize them into the different types of printables or whatever, however you want to organize them, it's just going to be easier for you if you do it now. So every time I make a new printable, I always save it as a PowerPoint presentation first. So it automatically saves it as that file format first. So it's automatically selected, so you just make sure it's titled properly and you save it. And then you go right back in after it saves, going back to File, Save As, and then you're going to save it different file formats. So once you've done your PowerPoint presentation, then you go back in, and there's 4 other ones that I think for the majority of us we would use most often. That is a PDF, then there's the JPEG, PNG, and then the SVG. And I can explain those a little bit in more detail in another video, but suffice it to say, the majority of us are going to be doing probably a PDF and maybe a JPEG. So if we're doing like printables like these 2 pages that I'm making today. So I'm just going to start off with PDF. I have it selected as PDF, and so I save it. And it's going to save it to the file or folder I was last in. So which is the one I want. Now, if you save it as a PDF, it automatically pops up what it's going to look like in a PDF. And I like this because there have been other times where I have created my printables and they don't look the same as they do in a PDF. For some reason, in the saving, transferring it over into a PDF, some things get distorted, like the text and whatnot. So I'll just go back in and change the text or something else that saves properly into my PDF. I don't know why it does that, but it does. It happens once in a while, not very often. So I like it. It looks great, and that's how I'm going to save it. So that's how we save it. We do the same thing for PNG, JPEG, all those different ways you save it the exact same way. So once you have it saved, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open this up, and I'm going to show you. So we have it here as the PowerPoint presentation, and then here it is as the PDF. So if you just want to send this to somebody in an email, that's perfect. You can just go straight down and you can just go into the share file, and this automatically, you can send it straight over to someone else, okay? But in some cases, a PDF is not, well, usually PDFs aren't that big, but if you were saving it in a different file format and it's too big of a file to save through email or send through email, then there is another way to do this. And this is only if you were to save your files in a, I don't know what you call it, I save all my files through Dropbox. That's the reason why I do that is because I make hundreds of printables, and my computer storage does not handle that many printables, so I have to use a storage unit offsite online, and that's Dropbox is the one that we use. Now you could use other different ones. I just prefer Dropbox for the pricing and everything, and it's worked really great for us for years. So because it's on Dropbox, there is a way to share this without uploading it in email and worrying about it being too big. So one of the reasons, a way to do that is to right click on the file that you want, and you can copy your Dropbox link. And then when you go into your email, you just paste that link and they click on it and it takes them right to that. And I will show you an example of that. So if you go into my blog post, I do the same thing from when I'm uploading a freebie into my blog post. This is my Mother's Day gift tags, free printables, and I have a link right here for them to download this particular printable, and I add the link here as well into the picture. So if they were to click on this link, it automatically takes them to the Dropbox link that I uploaded into that particular phrase. Sorry, my computer's being kind of slow today. And here it is. It takes them right to that printable. Now, if you were to use other off-site storage units for your printables, I'm assuming it works the same way. I cannot tell you for sure because I've only ever used Dropbox. But this is what I use for all my blog posts, is I just upload them through a link. So I make this into a link, and I link the Dropbox link that I copied from that particular file for this file here. And I will add the link to this picture in case someone prefers to click on the picture to download it. And it automatically takes them straight there. They can download it, and I don't have to upload this onto my blog and take up space on my blog. But if you, let's say you wanted to create something or sell it like on Etsy or Creative Market or something like that, you're going to do it slightly differently. You're going to upload your actual file. So let's say that I wanted to create a listing for what this is, and this is just something I made up for a friend. But this is, let's say I wanted to make a listing for this. So I would go into my listing pages here, and I can go over how to do all of this in these Etsy listings in another video, but right now we're not really getting into Etsy. But I'm going to show you how to upload a file, because you're going to use this in other ways and not just Etsy. So if I were to wanting to download what I just saved, this particular file, if I wanted to upload it, not download it, then I would go to the upload file, and I would just find where I saved it to. So I would go to my desktop and test Etsy, and I would upload the file format. I wouldn't upload the PowerPoint unless I was uploading it for a specific reason, but it would be pretty much just a PDF. You upload it, and it saves it to this particular listing. So that way, when somebody goes and buys that particular listing, it's automatically going to get sent to them. So let's say they go and buy my home management binder. I've already uploaded all the files for that. So when they go and buy it, they go right into their purchase portal, and there are the downloads. They don't have to go to a link. They don't have to do anything like that. It's automatically uploaded to the Etsy server. So those are going to be your two most important ways of sharing your printables. And it's something that you're going to do so often. The more you do this, that it's just going to be second nature to you. But again, if you didn't know and you've never done it before, it does get a little bit confusing. But this is something that I use pretty much every day. So those are, and I've made them so many times that I really only ever use those two options: uploading the entire file or using the Dropbox link. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Hopefully that is something that makes a little bit more sense if you are wanting to share your printables. If it doesn't, please, please, please leave me a message below the video, and I will clarify anything that needs clarifying. And I will see you in the next video.